Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA episode 397. I am Brendan. All right, UFC Fight Night, Barboza versus Murphy. For my regular viewers, I know. This is late. I'm good. Normally, if you watch me, usually you know that I put out one video for the main card, one video for the prelims, and I usually do it on a Sunday if the event's on a Saturday night. I know this is late. I get that. I'm sorry. I was at a wedding in another state with my my former co-host. So I was a little busy. Life took precedence over that. I even know there was boxing over the weekend. Like I get that. I understand. But I took all the notes. I watched these fights, and I figured, let's make a video, get it out there. If you guys like this stuff, let me know. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you stopping by. Subscribe. That way you know the video is coming out. I'd super appreciate it. If you like this video, hit the like button. Let's get into the fights. Edson Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. Man, it just seemed like Edson just never got out of second gear. I don't know if it was Murphy's pressure or if it was if it's Barboza's age. I don't know if it's a combination. I don't know if Barboza got hurt at some point, but from what I could tell, it looked like Barboza just wasn't himself. Like the amount of leg kicks that he threw, we can go through it round by round and we'll look at it. They just started to diminish, and he just stopped throwing them in each round. He just wasn't throwing as many, and you could see he even got out leg kicked by Lerone Murphy, which is unreal. So Murphy with some really clean jabs, Barboza landing some nice low kicks and a jab of his own. The key for Murphy is to keep this output high on those jabs. Barboza will get tired as the fight goes on, and it's just about staying consistent and not getting caught by something big. Barboza digs that lead hook to the body on a counter. He only was able to do this a little bit. See, Murphy was finding the mark with those right hands, and Barboza never looks stable on his feet, so it doesn't look good. But if you watch him, you know that he kind of he's wobbly as it is. Murphy gets on top, landing some good ground and pound to end the round. But, he just takes a really bad up kick. Oh, yeah, and then he took a really bad up kick that right at the end of the round. So it was hard to see how bad he was hurt. They did say on the broadcast that he was wobbled going back to his corner. So had I seen that, I might have leaned towards Barboza. But if you look at the striking numbers, this was probably the closest round, 34-25 in favor of Murphy. I don't know if Murphy ever really hurt Barboza as bad as Barboza hurt Murphy with that up kick at the end of the round. But this is kind of like the best round. I gave it to Murphy based off what I saw, what I was given. I gave it to Murphy. Murphy finding the mark with that 1-2 so super well. Barboza just can't reach him with that hook to the body because Murphy's exiting perfect. In the second round, he picked up on that lead hook and just exited really well. They both find the mark with the right hand, but Murphy just keeps the output higher. Barboza doing damage to that lead leg, just not matching the output that Murphy does. He gets a takedown to get back up. Lots of control time against the cage. Lots of that in this fight. Good round for Murphy with the pressure and the output, getting the damage on Barboza. Looking at the striking numbers here, 41-17 in favor of Murphy. In favor of Murphy, really starting to put it on him. 20-18 clearly. Barboza just can't keep the pressure on. He can't keep matching the output. He just can't do it. Finding the mark with some hard shots, including a nasty body kick, but that output just isn't there. Murphy did really want the takedown, just couldn't get it. Kept the pressure on him, kept some control time, and still outlanded him 48-11 in the round. So up 30-27 on my card. I know I am speaking fast and going through this rather quickly, but like I said, I'm going to try and put all of this in one video. So this round, Barboza lands a spinning back kick to the body, and Murphy standing there he's got a bloody nose he did get a bloody nose. So Barboza was landing, but again, look at the output here, 59-15 for significant strikes in favor of Murphy. I'm going to keep saying Mercy. I know it's happening. 40-36 clearly, and then the last round here, Barboza needing more of those low kicks throughout the fight. He just didn't throw them. Murphy ends the fight with a takedown, some control, clinch. Really good fight for him. Lots of really good control time. Good striking, lots of octagon control, 38-11 for striking numbers in the last round here. But real quick, just to touch on this, look at Barboza's leg kicks attempts: 12-8, 5-5, 2. Right? He really didn't attempt that many after the first round. I mean, he landed 9, 7, 4, 4, 2. So he was landing plenty of them. I don't know why he abandoned it. I don't know why he stopped throwing them as the fight went on. It was one of his most successful things. It's one of his most successful kicks at all times, or successful strikes in all fights anyway. I just wish he would have thrown it. I think it would have done some real damage. It did seem to bother Murphy when he landed them. Could have seen a different fight, armchair quarterback and all. Great fight for Murphy. Great performance. You can't complain about it. All right. 40-36 Let's talk about Carlston Harris. Carlston Harris versus Khaos Williams. We don't need to go over the stats here. The fight did not last that long. Williams taking the front foot, using the feints and jabs. Really nice right hand lands, but then immediately Williams comes back and with a right hand and puts him down, and Harris is out. Yeah, Khaos hits really hard. We know that. It's just about, can he stay on the feet and avoid getting taken down? Can he avoid the, getting knocked out himself? He's an exciting fighter, which one of those guys who, if he cleans up his act, he could make it really far in the division. He could go, I think as a 170, or he could, be in title contention. He could be in the top 15, top 10, right? Obviously, if I said could be in title contention if he cleans things up. But here's the thing. When you clean things up, you kind of lose what got you to the dance, right? What got you to the dance in the first place. And for some fighters, it just doesn't add up. They take away some of their wildness. They take away some of their improvisation, and they become a more structured, standard fighter. And they still have all the power and the attributes, but then they start losing decisions, or they start, getting knocked out themselves, or mostly it's decisions that they start losing. And it's just their style just doesn't work with longevity as far as consistent winning. So from what I've seen from Williams, he absolutely could knock 3 people out in a row, get a title shot, and knock someone out and become a champion. I'm not kidding. He legitimately could do that. For anybody to say otherwise is ridiculous. Of course he could do that. Do I think that's likely given the current layout and how things are kind of, flowing through the division? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. It's not that he can't. Obviously he can. It's just I don't think that's going to happen. Ramirez, Brahimaj versus Themba Gorimbo. This fight was really stupid. We can look at the striking numbers here. Not a ton, 7 total strikes from combined between the two in the first round, 15 total strikes from in the second round, significant strikes, and then 24 total significant strikes in the third round. It was all clinching against a cage. 4 minutes and 26 seconds, so 4.5 minutes of clinching in the first round, 4 minutes and 43 seconds in the second round, and then 4 minutes and 48 seconds in the third round of clinching, essentially. And Gorimbo was constantly getting it. And then, he did get on top. I'm sorry, it wasn't just clinch time. He was on top. And all of those were initiated, or most of those were initiated by Brahimaj. Ended up on his back, trying to get him taken down, couldn't really get anything going. And then couldn't get off his back and just ended up on bottom and being controlled the whole time. And then when he did get up, he got controlled in the clinch. And there's just bad game plan, bad adjustments, it just was a stupid fight to watch. It looked really dumb. And again, I'm not criticizing him for doing that. I'm just saying, if we're being honest here, it was just either a dumb game plan or dumb adjustments, whatever it was. Maybe he was just tired. Maybe because of the layoff or whatever. Clearly a 30-27 in favor of Gorimbo. Not a fun fight to watch. Don't go back and watch that one. It's not worth your time. Vinicius Salvador versus Adrian Yanez. Again, relatively quick one here. We don't need to go over the stats. Yanez slipping out of the way with those big hooks, landing one of his own. Salvador using some unorthodox movements and landing some kicks and some hooks in flow, looking pretty impressive, pretty fun. Yanez seems to be waiting a lot and trying to counter. He's really close on them. As I'm writing this down, I was trying to type it and figure out the words I wanted to use, and then he lands a huge right hand counter, puts him done, a ton of ground and pound, and it's over. Great finish from Yanez. Looking fantastic. All right, Angela Hill versus Luana Pinheiro. Holy crap. Absolutely beautiful performance by Angela Hill. Fantastic. Pinheiro really trying to land that lead hook, finding the mark as Hill is pressing forward, landing that front kick to the body and some jabs. Then they go hook for hook. Pinheiro trying for the trip, but Hill defends it, gets the front headlock, gets on top of for herself. Fantastic grappling. Hill landing some really good ground and pound, ends around tripping her again. She looks pretty good, right? Not a ton of strikes in this round, 8-7 in favor of Hill, but look at that control time, 2 minutes of it. She absolutely dominated in every possible grappling scenario. fantastic. Second round, Pinheiro swinging big, trying to land more at range, being more active with the strikes, but Hill dodging most of them. She just wasn't thrown enough early in this round. And then Hill catches her in a spin, gets to the standing back, stays in the clinch. Oh, man. Yeah, freaking landing some really good knees, and then they separate, and then her pressure just nonstop is what was winning her this round. It's wearing on her. She defends the takedown, gets the front headlock, and then lands some of the decent kicks in the separation. Then she gets the front, goes through that front headlock sequence again, dives guillotine, gets the finish. Like her first win by submission in the 30 fights. Wow, God. In her 30 professional fights. Absolutely fantastic. Looking great. I'm so happy for her. She looked fantastic. Oh, I know I've said that a lot, but she called out... oh, man, who did she call out? Because after this weekend, she should be in the top 10, right? She moved in the top 10. Aha, there she is. See, here's one of the benefits of doing this video later. Made it. She's number 9 now. Fantastic. I don't think she said she's never been in the top 10. I thought she was at one point, but she wants to fight Jessica Andrade, get that rematch. I think, given where Jessica Andrade is and the way she's been fighting, I think, she gets a win there. She puts herself in title contention. I mean, regardless of what happens, I'm just really excited to watch her fight. All right, Victor Martinez taking on Tom Nolan. This is the prelims. Only a 1-round fight here. Nolan landing lanky kicks and round kicks to the body. Martinez standing way too far out to do anything offensive, other than low kick or maybe counter when Nolan moves in to strike, at least when he punches. That comes into play later. Nolan's just picking him apart from the outside at range, varying up his strikes, doing pretty much whatever he wants. And then Martinez counters a spin with a right hand. Nolan loses his balance. He was staggered a little. He wasn't really staggered. He lost his balance. Yes, it was a good hit, but I don't think it really shook his equilibrium or anything like that. Nolan gets up. Martinez tries to move in and takes a knee to the body, and then some follow-up, and it's all over. Martinez was bleeding like crazy from his head. I don't know what hit him. I don't know if it was a clash of heads or an elbow. But Tom Nolan looked great. Oumar C versus Tuco. Tokkos. C gets him to the fence and gets the takedown. C stays on him, gets the back, and gets a neck crank finish. 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the round. 3 minutes and 43 seconds into the round. That's all you need to know. Looks good. Hard to take anything from here other than he does like to grapple. So another grappler in the division. Oh no, another grappler at light heavyweight. Let's see how he handles some of the other guys. Let's go. Melissa Gatto versus Tamires Vidal. This one was freaking weird. The way it ended anyway. Gatto going 1-2, 1-2 again, landing nice and getting the easy takedown. Vidal squeezes the guillotine, but there was nothing there. Gatto landing a bunch of tight elbows in the ground for the ground and pound. 4 minutes and 33 seconds of top control time. Lots of strikes landed. Should be a lot of strikes landed in that first round. Total strikes 72 strikes landed. Yeah, not significant strikes because of they're on the ground, so they're not at range and they don't always count for that. But anyway, 10-9, easy. Second round, Gatto with the clean striking again to the body with the jab over the top with the right hand. Vidal goes to the clinch in the cage but can't do anything with it and even gets tripped. Gatto gets to the back trying to mount and goes armbar right at the end of the round. Just looking fantastic. Other than getting a little bit of bullied in this round, just doing a great job. 21-11 for striking numbers. Fantastic. Last round here. So I had her up 2018. Last round, Vidal grabs her boobs, turns away. There was a jab that hit her in the boob, and the ref calls it because she turned away. She turned away, essentially saying I'm done, or she thought oh, I got hit here. Give me time to recover. Getting punched in the boob is not an illegal strike. Should it become? I hope that doesn't become, because that's kind of stupid. If a lot of people start abusing it and it does work, we'll see. I've heard from my wife that getting punched in the boob does not feel good. And I mean, you could imagine there's lots of nerves there, that can't feel great. But, whether or not it becomes a strategy going forward, like Dominic Cruz said, fine. We can address it if it comes up more often. But this is the first time I've ever seen a fight stopped because of a boob punch right on the nipple. Maybe it just caused a little bit of damage. Like I said, we'll see going forward if it becomes a strategy. I think it would be. Part of me thinks it's kind of funny. Boob punching. It just sounds funny. It's a funny strategy. Warlley Alves versus Abus Magomedov. Abus looked fantastic the whole fight. Alves complained afterwards about the shitty apex causing the problems. I get that, small cage, bad environment. I think they really should move away from there. Maybe have like 15 events at there, keep them real small. Some of the up and comers, maybe once in a while, have a bigger name on the card for whatever reason. But I don't think they should be holding as many events in the Apex as they do. I understand money. I'm not in charge. I'm too stupid. Like, I understand all those things. So I'm not saying I know anything about the business. I'm just saying, as a fan, I do appreciate when they go places and when they put that big octagon in there. I freaking hate the little octagon. It does change the game as far as visually. Alves looking off the sauce or off his diet for this fight. One of those two things. Don't know which. That's what it looked like. Alves backs up for 2 seconds, swings some hooks, loads up and runs him down, looking for that right hand. Just couldn't get it. Magomedov with an easy trip, gets the back. They get back up. They clinch. Alves swinging big and going crazy, but Magomedov leaning back and countering with that left hook and the kick up the middle and landing hard uppercuts, staggering Alves. Alves spinning around, gets his back taken yet again. Taken down for 2 minutes. Alves goes guillotine but loses it, ends up on bottom eating elbows. Now, looking at the striking numbers here, it's only 9-8 for significant strikes in favor of Abus, but you got to imagine he landed a lot more total strikes. Yeah, 30-8 for total strikes in that first round. Obviously a 10-9 for him. Second round, Alves getting the double under, can't do anything with it, tying him up with it, and then gives his back, and then Abus gets a takedown, going for the arm triangle, then ground and pound, big round, lots of top control time, 4 minutes and 15 seconds of control time for Abus, and then 8-3 for striking numbers, but that's not the real thing. 48-3 for total strikes. So 20-18 clearly. Last round, Alves swinging for the fences, lands hard to the kick, but gets his back taken yet again, taking down Magomedov, dominating this fight from start to finish. Alves just was never able to get going, never able to get separation or do anything with it. We could look at the striking, the judges' scorecards for this one, because I think someone did give him a 10-8. Derek clearly gave him the second round. Oh, all three. Chris Lee, Tony Weeks, and Derek clearly all gave him the second round 10-8. Understandable. I get that. I just didn't see enough damage to consider that one a 10-8. Kind of an odd one, in my opinion. All right, let's talk about the stupid one that happened here. Ariane Carnelossi versus Piera Rodriguez. This was stupid. This was stupid. This was stupid. For a lot of reasons, I'm not blaming the person who gets fouled. That's not what I'm going to do here. We'll talk about it. See what happens when I cover up the light behind me? It adjusts. Damn it. It's just my blinds. They're gone, so it lets in so much light, and everything's shining behind me. Anyway, Carnelossi somehow still passing drug tests. I don't know how, but somehow still passing them. Shoulders like mine. Actually, she has probably better looking shoulders than mine, better capped shoulders than me. I think her jaw's wider than mine. Not that that's a statement on like how masculine I look. I'm not particular. I don't have a particularly strong jaw, but she sure does. Anyway, Rodriguez looking to stick and move, work her way in, land a few back out to range. Carnelossi just standing and waiting to throw hooks when Rodriguez crashes. They keep doing the same thing over and over. Then Rodriguez gets a takedown. Rodriguez did nothing with the takedown. Some really crappy striking in this round. But overall, I feel like she did more damage. 19-10 for striking numbers. She has some control time. That's hers, 10-9. More crappy hooks from Carnelossi in the second round, and Rodriguez works her way into the clinch, keeps her there for half the round. Front kick from Rodriguez hurts Carnelossi bad. She gets on top, landing some ground and pound, but headbutts her. And then headbutts her again after she is warned. Mark Smith doesn't do anything initially until Carnelossi looks up at him, and then he waves it off, and then he separates him. Carnelossi just doesn't want to fight anymore, and that's Rodriguez's fault for headbutting her twice. And then Carnelossi gets a DQ win. So we all know she wasn't winning the fight. But you just can't foul. And then you can't foul twice in a row with the same foul. Like, I'm not a fan of that phrase either, where like, well, as long as it's like, oh, if it's the same foul twice in a row, it's worse. It's not. It's a foul. What if you poke her in the eye real bad and then headbutt her? Right? What if you grab the fence and then kick him in the nuts? It's bad both times. Like, I understand that she was warned for the same thing, and that's why it was considered a DQ, but what if it wasn't accidental the first time? It clearly was a headbutt, because it was, she can say whatever she wants. She was trying to adjust her head That horrible job at doing that then. If that's really what she was doing, I believe her. That's horrible. Just really bad. That's like saying, I was trying to kick him in the face and then you kick him in the nuts. Well, you're bad at kicking then. Like, I don't care what you tried to do. You didn't do it. You kicked him in the nuts. So I don't care that you're trying to adjust your head and put it on her chest. You slammed your head into her face twice. So like, whether or not you were trying to, like, you're bad at what you were trying to do. As far as the DQ win goes, it is what it is, right? Was Carnelossi winning? No. Was she likely going to win based off what we were seeing? Absolutely not. Basically, she was just hurt and wobbled. So, it's unfortunate when that happens, but you have to be disciplined. You cannot just start throwing stupid shit out there and then breaking the rules. And, there's been arguments out there, and I know people complain about this kind of stuff, and they say like, oh, well, these rules are getting in the way of finishes, and oh, these rules are getting in the way of this, and oh, these rules are stupid, they're not realistic. Listen, you can talk about all that stuff and complain about it to the commissions, and you can go try to get those things changed, right? Write up a summary, do some analysis, figure out what needs to be changed, and then propose your ideas to the commissions. Repeatedly do it. Find out the process. If you're really that adamant about getting it changed, then go through that and do it, okay? But the rules are what they are right now. You have to follow them. It is what it is. So if you don't follow them, you get punished. If you don't follow them that blatantly twice in a row, you get DQ'd if the person can't continue. Had Carnelossi continued, she would have lost. I'm all in favor of someone who gets fouled to just say, you know what, I got hit real hard. Don't care if it was, from the punch or from the headbutt. I'm not able to continue. Like, I don't have all my wits about me. Whatever caused that doesn't matter because I was fouled. And I know that's stupid. You can say, oh, the warrior spirit, this and that. Warrior spirit doesn't pay for all those things she's taking. She's got to make that money. All right. Heili, Alateng Heili taking on Kleydson Rodriguez. Rodriguez or Rodriguez? Uh-oh. It's Rodriguez. Yeah, he's Brazilian. Because there was Rodriguez here and then Rodriguez. Rodriguez backing up, kicks out the leg and then jumps on the guillotine. Can't hold it, gets lifted and slammed. Alateng Heili on top. Rodriguez on his back pretty much the whole round. 10-9 for Alateng Heili. He did kick him in the face without getting up. Probably an illegal kick. Can't do that shit, and it was after the bell. This kind of lack of discipline, didn't get punished for it. He gets away with it. So 10-9 for Heili. I think is it all one word, Alateng Heili? And then Rodriguez using the kick to stand back up and stay away. He's using the kick and backing up to stay away. He doesn't want to get put down on the ground again. And then Rodriguez keeps swinging away as hard as he can, low kicks, big, giant overhands. But then when he moves forward, he gets clipped and staggered multiple times. So, like, Alateng Heili was landing these, like, kind of tight hooks, and he just has more power, cleaner technique, more precision, whatever it is, and it's hurting Rodriguez. Alateng grabs the ankle, gets on top, and then depending on how you grade those shots from Alateng Heili, I don't think he did enough damage this round. I think Rodriguez did enough damage, so I gave it to him. I hit 19-8. As far as striking numbers go, I gave it to Rodriguez, so I hit 19-19. Rodriguez landing a spinning back fist and then attempting a flying knee. Pressure from Alateng Heili looking to counter, and Rodriguez throwing everything in every shot, just not able to get anything really landing flush. Rodriguez attempts a takedown. Why the fuck would he do that? He gets reversed, ends up on his back, and then that's it. He outlanded him 16-7, but he spent 2 minutes on his back and got outstruck on the ground. Based off of those striking numbers, though, did you really give it to him? I don't know. And then all three judges had Chris Lee gave the last round to Rodriguez, but Mike Bell and Junichiro Kamijo gave it, all 3 rounds to Alateng Heili. So far be it from me to call that. Oh, did I not give you guys the stats while I was saying that stuff? I'm sorry. Okay, and then here's one that I disagree with. I think the stats will back me up on this. I think this set a bad precedent for the night. Luckily, people got their shit together. Vanessa Demopoulos versus Emily Ducote. I think they screwed this one up. Demopoulos starting fast, planting her feet, throwing hard overhands and low kicks, but Ducote was staying in range, covering up and countering. like really early on, she was just taking the worst of it. But as Demopoulos gets tired, I could see this switching because she's not disciplined with her strikes. And someone like Ducote, who's a little bit cleaner with her stuff, can come back and outstrike her. Ducote backs out of the way and of a hook and counters with a nice right hand and staggers Demopoulos. Close round with Demopoulos leading, eking it out, but it could be close. Could go either way. I gave this first round to Demopoulos. She did outland her 43-30, so that's legit. But you could see that, if she can't keep this pace up, she's going to have some problems. So in the beginning of the second round, she comes out, coming out hard, like really hot again, super fast, throw it right in her face, throwing those hooks, looking to just like the first round did with the Demopoulos getting out in front for the first half of the round, but she just did not put the amount of pressure on her as the round went on. Ducote's clean striking and patience were starting to put her out in front as Demopoulos slows down. Demopoulos was finding hard to bull rush as the round went on. She couldn't get into range, getting tagged on the way in. 19-19, clearly her round. Ducote's round 60-36, not even close. Not even close. There's no way you give this to Demopoulos, right? Unless you were not paying attention. So clearly Ducote's round. Last round, Demopoulos not starting the last round as fast as the first two, but now she's landing with that straight right, not looping her shots as much. Ducote finding the mark regularly with that right straight. Demopoulos hurts her with the right hand and then chases her down, but Ducote recovers, lands a right of her own. Ducote picking up the pace with 145 left, finding the mark with tight combos. Demopoulos goes for a takedown, but ends up on bottom. Not a great way to end the round. Yeah, you could say this one's close, but the way she got outstruck here, 53-30, like how bad was Ducote really staggered? Not very. She didn't follow up with a ton of damage to try and get her. She was never close to finishing this fight. I clearly thought these last three rounds were Ducote's. Now, looking at the scorecards, all over the place. Come on, Saul. Damn. Okay, so he gave that first round to Demopoulos. Absolutely. Second round to Ducote, absolutely. Last round, giving it to Demopoulos. Like I said, if you really grade that damage heavily, I could understand it. So, okay. Derek clearly scorecard. He gave the first round to Ducote. I don't see it. Second round to Demopoulos. What the fuck? And then the third round to Ducote. Okay. So this is like the first two rounds are switched for Derek clearly. And then Ron McCarthy here, giving that first round to Demopoulos. Okay. Last round to Ducote, fine. Second round, so Derek clearly and Ron McCarthy both have the worst scorecards, even though I disagree with Saul D'Amato's outcome, right? This is when you can disagree subjectively, but you can agree that the clearest round was absolutely the second round, not even close. Look at those striking numbers again. Shall we look at it? 60-36, not even close. You want to talk about, maybe they weren't head strikes. 37-24 for Ducote. 10-10 match the body, and then 13-2 on the legs. Clearly landing hard strikes, landing good stuff, especially down the stretch. So, it should be fresh in your mind. How could you think Demopoulos won this round? Absolutely not. Saul D'Amato, he has the most defensible card. I've said this before. There's a defensible card regardless. Derek clearly has the same scorecard I do as far as the outcome, but he switched the first and second round. That first round, you could give that to Ducote. I didn't see it. So that's defensible, but that second round, giving it to Demopoulos, absolutely indefensible. You cannot call that for Demopoulos. A horrible scorecard. Regardless if he like I said, he had the same outcome I did, but that doesn't make it right. So I think Demopoulos got a gift here. I think she got lucky. And here's the thing. Recently I've readopted or gone over that quote. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right? And that kind of phrases it how I think when I say luck, right? Most of the time, I'm not using it as a derogatory statement. Most of the time, when I say she got lucky, it meant she put herself in a position to win. Right. Well, I think the first round and the third round could technically be called for her, so that's fine. She was obviously made it to the fight, so she gave herself that opportunity, and she prepared for it, right? So she put herself in a position to get lucky, and that's what happened. I think she did get lucky with the call here. I think Ron McCarthy and Saul D'Amato got it wrong. I think Ron McCarthy is off his fucking rocker. I think Derek clearly wasn't paying attention either, but still got the overall scorecard right. So I think Ducote kind of got screwed here. Not a horrible one, but kind of bad. Anyway, that is it. I crammed it all into one video. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel. That way you know next video is coming out. I'd really appreciate it if you like this video. Hit the like button. Yeah, again, like I said, normally if you're new to this and you made it this far, thank you so much. It means a lot to me that you watch my video. But this is not how I normally do it. Normally I break them down into 2 videos. I have the main card and then the prelims on another video. I go into a little bit more depth on the cards. I kind of go off on tangents a little bit and talk about things kind of like how I did here. I do that a little bit more often, flesh out the things a little bit more. You know, you can go back and look at some of my older videos. You could use them as a companion, right? As you're watching some older fights, maybe pull up my older video that breaks down those fights, and then kind of compare your notes to mine, kind of how I saw things. So I appreciate y'all for stopping by. It means a lot to me. Have an amazing week. Love y'all. Peace.